The person that have a strong awareness and a strong sense, but you didn't listen to people, then you are arrogant. If you are a person, you only listen to people, but you don't make the decision, you are just weak. Being an entrepreneur, you need to be able to do it both. You need to be decisive at the same time you listen to feedback and you take the advice to adjust your judgment.
Edwin, founder of Dojo3 and part of EDG, has founded a few Web2 companies and is now entering the world of Web3. Today, we sit down with him to learn more about his journey. Welcome to the Chinsanity show, where we talk about with creators, builders, founders in Web3. And today, we're talking with the one and only Edwin. Dude, what's up, man? How are you? How are things?
I'm good. Doing good. Been trading a lot. Going on abstract.
Nice.
Building our projects. Prediction games. So everything is good. By far.
Yeah. How's it like building on abstract from behind the scenes? Because I feel like a lot of us, right, as users of abstract, we just play the games, get XP, have fun, degen a little bit, trade. But how's it like maybe from the inside, like building on abstract as a builder and stuff like that?
I've been doing Dojo3's prediction game, right? Prediction arcade. So for us, it's pretty happy because it's a really good chain for degen. And you see a lot of early stage, back in the mainnet, when the mainnet launches, a lot of game out there. And until today, there's still a lot of game coming up. And one thing that we're happy with that is because we can get some, really degen players from abstract. And the users, they are pretty active and they would like to do it. Either way, they're enjoying the game or either way, they're gaining XP. So basically, it gives you some really solid active users out there. And as a builder, we also happy with the step that support the tech they have, because it's built easy for consumer crypto. Everybody can be easily get there into the ecosystem. They can get into the kind of like an app store, right? They can start playing the games, not even do a lot of things. So you initially have your sign with your wallet create, and then you can easily start the game. I think all these basic setup they have, and also the session key, all sort of tag behind, is making it easy for a lot of consumer and for us to build. So I would say along the time, there's definitely a lot of ups and downs, or a lot of obstacles. But still is one of the good chain that you probably see around out there in this year at least.
Yeah. Definitely, I feel like when abstract first launched, man, it was crazy. People trying to get in. I know I talked to you maybe last year or so, and you're like, I'm thinking of building a project on abstract. What made you want to build? Was it because the users, like we were saying, the user base, or the bullish sentiments of the chain and stuff like that?
I feel honestly, the reason that we pulled the trigger, I mean, my very own reason is number one is because of Luca. So I met him last year at Token.
Okay.
And I heard about him, but I never met him. He's kind of one of the idol to me. And then when I talk to him, I really feel that the ambition behind him and the way that he see through things is really clear. And the vision and the things that he want to do, you can feel it. And then afterwards, I checked out the things that posting from Saiger. I say he's really, really good and really, really professional in the things that he want to do. Back then, not even he start collaborating with Lucas. So I feel like it's a good combination. And then the last piece I think I did is I talked to Michael. So Michael is not.
And did you meet them all in Singapore?
Yeah, I meet Michael and Luca in Singapore. I have a talk with Michael for at least 2 hours. So Michael is a really, really professional and experienced business guy with a decent experience from gaming. So you never know, from the gaming industry, he just did lead and build a lot of good games. I think from what's the game, Diablo and those things like that. I forget the name, but anyway, so he's really our experienced guy. And he also quite into crypto in certain sense. So I think it's a good team combination, and they have a good vision. And the word they say, consumer crypto, is really catching my attention, because back then when I want to build Dojo3, one thing that in my mind is I want to build something fun for people who come into crypto. They can start playing games, learning about crypto, or maybe making speculation and earn some money. So I think that's make it easy, and actually make it even more easy. So I decided, it's a good move to build there. And so that is how I decide the things.
Yeah. Deciding on abstract and stuff like that. All the way, I guess you met, when was abstract, when did Pudgy acquire abstract? Was it last summer or?
I think, last year, sometime around, back then it's not named abstract, it's named I forget the name, but like early last year, something like that.
It was a chain before.
Yeah, it was
Pudgy
like developing the concept of abstract back then from Tiger and the team, and then I think Luca make a kind of like a strategic move to get them on board to and make it abstract, something like that. But I think that is a brilliant move because back then, everybody wants to build a chain, especially when you see all these memes, all this IP doing successful. Why don't we have our own ecosystem? So that's why you see now we have a lot of PUBG games coming up. Some of them are like in-house, support by Looker. As we hear that from Ineligu, like those games are really brilliant, and I know there are still more coming up. And I think it's a good move because I think some people curious like if PUBG is such a successful IP, why not they have a lot building more games, more IP around the chain that they're incubating or they're building, right? And now they're moving in that way. I think it makes sense. They kind of like maybe like Lucas said, like 5-10 years later, you will see like the internet Mickey Mouse, like it's no longer Mickey, like it's become Puppy, become Pengu, right?
Yeah. It's interesting because when I think Luca might have mentioned this before purchasing Abstract, but when they purchased Abstract, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Like what they're going to do. They have their own chain now, to where it's now and stuff. So yeah, definitely, it's interesting to see the evolution of that.
Yes,
right?
true.
And so also like we mentioned your project, right, about Dojo3, right? And you guys, how long have you guys been on Abstract now?
I think we initially we should be launching on the day one, which they launched I think around Chinese New Year's time. And
Yes. Oh yes.
say by the end of February this year, something like that. But because all our dev, like most of them are from China, we never make it on time, so we end up launching in April. So we're just quite far behind to us. But whatever happened is this happened. So we launched in April, but we essentially the first batch of project that are on board on Abstract.
Yeah. And what, I guess for some people, what is Dojo3? Like what kind of game is it? I know I played it, we've streamed it together before, but maybe for someone who doesn't know, what is Dojo3?
So Dojo3 is a casual prediction arcade. So make it easy is like come to Dojo3 and you play games which you predict which token goes up the most. Right. And then you can free to play, you can make it free to play, you can bet with a game credit that you have to buy, and then you can swap it back to Ethereum. So there's kind of like a casual, I wouldn't say casino, but a casual game.
Are you gonna say that?
Speculation game. No, I'm not gonna know. So it's but honestly, like it's interesting because like if you're new to crypto, but there's a lot of dog, puppy, cats, you would find it interesting because when you're into the game, you see like why these dogs are moving up and down. Yeah. Same things happen when you go into the exchange, right? You see a lot of token going up and a lot of icon that you don't know what they. But we make it fun into a game like a racing style, like a swimming style. You see all this icon moving around, but it just make it like 10 seconds time. So imagine if you come into the game today now. We're going to give you some chips to play. If you win, you win more game credit. You can withdraw bets, into the real cryptocurrencies that you want. So it's kind of like we want to make the fun experience for people to make a token speculation. And if you're new to that, it's also good to you because you're not really doing an investment. You're just playing a game. So I think right now that's how people think about us, especially when we launch our PVG version like 2 weeks ago.
That was a splash, right?
Yeah, Dojo Splash. It's against a house with 100x, multiplier. That one, I just told you right now, I have a friend test me this morning because I told him to play, I think 2 days ago. And this morning he told me like, the first thing I did today is I try your game. And the first round he did is like he win 4 rounds of the game and get 12x, not 100x. But I told him like, not bad. It's the first attempt he tried. And he said, you make me like a DJ now. I say, yeah, you can try more.
Yeah, how's it been, the new game mode and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think the new game mode is it's been doing pretty well. It's like I checked out the first week's metrics. Yeah, it's like I think it's more than 4 times of the previous weekly result we have. Really? So the users, the betting volume and the amount of people who top up to buy the game credit. And everything just at least 4x. So it's pretty promising. And I hope to see it maintain this week or even more. But at least one thing I can tell is like people like it more because previously we are again more in PvP mode. So our first game launch is actually Dojo Dash. So Dojo Dash is like everybody, you place your bet in the same pool within a 1 minute window. So if you win, you take the proceed, you share it with other winners. If you lose, you're losing to those who win, right? So which means that if you win, you actually don't know how much you can gain because you're splitting with others. So that's a problem. Like, a lot of people like playing Dojo Dash because it gives them a win, but even if you lose, you wouldn't lose too much. So it's good tools for them to gain more XP.
You can still win, right?
You can still win. Like,
not win as much, but win some.
Yeah, and then because that mode, we decided to make it like 5 token, 3 of them will win.
Yeah.
So basically, proportionally, the 3 wins will give you a high chance of maintaining a win rate. So which means people it's good tools for them to get XP, right? But the problem is like for those real degen, they don't like it because they don't earn a lot. So we make the Dojo Splash, which is the PvE mode with 100x multiplier against the house. So that one makes sense for people who are really looking for excitement. And I think one of the streamer did like a week or something ago.
Oh, he did it?
Yeah, okay. I told him to do that.
Who was it?
I think Lazy something.
Okay, I think I maybe recognize the PFP.
And then he played all the creeping that he did is losing, but that video is like over 50 people talking about how he lose, why you pick that token. I think it's really amazing because that is the things I want to see. Yeah. And I saw like there are another creeping from a very pretty Chinese girls. Okay. And she did like she say there's a quote that she said is like she been fucked by the capitalism. Something like that. And that was also fun, I saw a lot of conversation going around in some of the prayer groups, like TG groups, and then they say like, every time they see like, I'm going close to 100x, like they will post and ask like other fellow, like, which one should I pick? Like 2 out of 1 token. And then one time I talked to the prayer, like, pick this one. And say, no, I got to take the other one. And they end up losing. I said, I told you, bro. So I think these are so fun to see all these moments happening.
Yeah. Especially one thing I like about Abstract, right? The streamability of things, right? Like having games that you're able to stream and stuff like that. Like Dojo3 is a very casual game. And I mean, we streamed it. It was fun. We streamed it and that predicting the price, right? And I know you told me, right, the alpha is, for meme, usually you might want to pick meme coins because the price action's it fluctuates compared to like Ethereum or Bitcoin and stuff like that. And also, I'm sure people are wondering, Edwin, like, what's the alpha on the XP? Like, how can people get XP playing Dojo3? I don't know if you can share as much.
I think right now that's one interesting point is like people been seeing like the XP they're leaning towards more on the on-chain assets, right? I think that's kind of like true we see, but still playing games is one of the good tactics that people maintain. And because like if you just trade asset, sometimes you don't know what to buy, right? There's of course even more memes coming up on Abstract, more NFT coming up, but sometimes you just don't know which one to buy, and the price you don't know as well. So I think right now people's tactics like they will buy certain portion of assets, but at the same time they will still maintain playing games because they want to test out the balance, right? I mean, it makes sense for a lot of people who are really gaining XP or like they want to do that. But at the same time for us, it's pretty simple. So once you play the game, either one of the game that we have, you get the raffle ticket into the jackpot, and you have to claim the raffle ticket in order to get the XP. So what we do is as long as you do the on-chain activities, you make a top up to buy the game credit, you claim the raffle tickets, or you claim the badges from us. There are some special badges on our game which will give you a kind of like a more allocation on XP as well. So I would say for us, we're pretty straightforward. Like as long as you play the game, you claim the raffle ticket, you make your top up, you get the badges, you will get XP from the Abstract. I mean, of course that's not what we decide, but at least that's what people been experiencing so far.
Yeah, because I feel like XP is an abstract, no pun intended, kind of thing.
We don't advertise it, all right? For Finn, for Mason, everybody here that we are not advertising that, but just people will think about it.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to get you in trouble or anything like that. But also, okay, yeah. But yes, I really like the XP element, I guess, for Abstract and stuff like that.
Honestly, yes, because along the time we also talk with a lot of chain.
You do? Okay. Yeah, how is that like, the conversations with other chains?
I think honestly, like not everybody have such a sophisticated like I won't say farming, but at least like a earning mechanism that for people to keep an eye on, right? A lot of like ecosystem, what they do is like they have some campaign on and on, which they have some bonus of things for people to grind. Maybe end up it will be a batch, but they just not as continuous as like what ads are doing. Like back in the early days, you see like the XP is clear. Like every week you see how much you earned, and every week you're gonna have like batches coming up, and it maintains people's attention because they know, oh, this week on this app store they're like spotlight app, they're like voting on different app, and then you have a batch that this project you guys are probably pushing a little bit more, and then they have been probably something like recommended. So back in the early days, I think everybody will look and keep an eye on that because they know those are really things that they shouldn't miss, right? Right now, I think they slow down a bit, which is pretty sad. I think a lot of people been asking me or asking the team, or we're still looking forward to have that coming back, but at least back into the early days, they've been doing very, very well. So when you look into all the statistics, like, I think with the early like 2-3 months time is really hyping, everything is good. I think was good, yeah. And it's kind of like slow down right now. I think they have a lot of strategy revision behind at this stage.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard to maintain the hype for so long, especially in Web3, because I feel like the attention span is like a squirrel. Like everyone's always chasing the next, shining toy, right? Like,
yes.
I feel like this year, early on, there's two metas. I feel like we're really dominating CT Web3, right? It's like abstract and then InfoFi, right? InfoFi. I just hosted a space last night talking about InfoFi and all that. And yeah, it's interesting, the different metas. But I don't know about you. I mean, love to hear your perspective, but I feel like when it comes to like Web3 projects, it's the ones that can outlive the hype and still survive in that, right? That you see that, like a Punji Penguins, for example, right? And hopefully what you guys are doing in Dojo3, right? Like it's not just the hype, it's it lasts longer with users and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, but I see honestly like because I'm a founder turning from Web2 to Web3. So you see my X profile, I'm a Web2 degen. For no doubt because I've been doing startup for quite a few years. I would say like one of the good things that when you look into Web3 is the momentum is strong. And even though it's up cycle or down cycle, it still have a lot of people inside here, like all around the world, and the attention is always here. Just is it move from here to there, and the pace is very fast as well. So if you look into like a Web2 startup or like digital ecosystem, it's very slow, and it's like industry by industry specific. It break down, and the community is not as active as that. But at least when you step into Web3 industry, you see like. Everything you just get faster, the pace and the momentum and the capital behind and the money, the user, the activeness, everything is just much more stronger. So I would say it's still worthy to do. I mean, it's still really good. I mean, so that's why when I look into like IP like PUBG, it's really good because it's starting from a Web3 prospect. Like, it's everything, all the advantage that if you wouldn't get if you start like an IP from Web2. Like, of course, we can say Labubu is doing very good, but PUBG is doing good as well. If you look into the city, like
Labubu is crazy here.
Yeah.
Right now we're in Asia, and I was just in a coffee shop, like literally right next door, and it's like
full of Labubu.
Yeah, full of Labubu. I'm like,
we're turning into PUBG here.
Yeah, we're turning to PUBG, but yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you mentioned about kind of your background before building Dojo3. Like, yeah, I was curious, like, what were you doing before building in Web3? I know we've talked in private, off camera about it, but like, yeah, I was curious, like, what were you doing? Yeah, what were you doing before building Dojo3? Were you were in crypto? You said you built Web2 and stuff like that.
Yeah, crypto I've been trading for some time, of course. Not OG, but at least been trading some time. But I've been doing creator economy business for quite a few years, and e-commerce, social analytics, and then marketing agencies. And then so basically a lot of things, but most of the time I spend is on creator economy. So I've been very familiar with the things like all the digital content, digital subscription, fancy economy. I built influencer marketing platform, creator platform like Patreon. Some of them are still running,
interesting.
And I think along the time I think I built 5 startups. 2 of them fail. 1 exit and 2 of them still exist. So that is kind of like what I've been through. But in terms of creator economy, it's interesting because that is also the reason why I look into the potential of building, or become a builder on Web3, because I think back 3-4 years ago, like when there's a quite hot topic about creator fine, right? And I already were talking about creator token, things like that. That amazed me a lot because that time is also the era like where NFT comes out a lot, and people been saying like NFT can become kind of like a membership pass, all the new protocol, new mechanics where it can help creator earn more. I think that is kind of all interesting ideas comes to me and open my mind. And at that time, I already designed to be here, but I just told me a while before I settle up all the business and come up into the space. And of course, I probably should start doing creator economy, platforms up on the Web3 side of things.
I feel like it's inevitable. Knowing your background,
I will going back.
Yeah.
I will be going back soon, but for now, I choose Dojo3 is kind of like because when I first start building, I realized especially like when you go into a new spaces, like a lot of people maybe like me, you have a lot of things you still don't know, not to mention if you're like a consumer. So if I tell myself like because I've been doing B2B platforms and things for a long time, I want to do something on consumer side first as the beginning. I think the easiest way will be making a casual game. And this inspiration from last year is when I first start is brainstorming. It's like Telegram games all around out there.
And have you built games before Dojo3 or?
Honestly, no.
Oh, really? Okay.
So this is my first game and my first consumer product. So
interesting.
It's lucky that by far it's been doing good. So I guess I'm not too bad in luck. Because like if you go starting something new, usually you have a high chance of fail. But at least so far it's been doing well. And I wouldn't say it's like super bold like other abstract project like the top one. But at least it maintains its repetition. We have a solid DAU. Sometimes go up around 3,000 users. Sometimes like go up at least we have 1,000. So growing right now is probably like 2,000 something DAU. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, and last week is so crazy because last week we have the game launch. We have a lot of campaigns. We have a jackpot. I think last week the jackpot is over almost $4,000. Like, so everybody go crazy playing the games. And but anyway, I think Dojo3 has been doing good. Everybody has been doing kind to me. And as a game that I first started building, I feel happy. And and it's a good moving entrance because I think token speculation game in a casual way gamified it is something that can make me easy to familiar. At the same time, I can bring in more new blood to the space as well. And I think that's essential to me because what I've been doing is create an economy. Inevitably, if I do a business that can help on bringing more people to crypto, I think that will be helpful to me to do the future business as well.
Yeah. I think also, Edwin, you mentioned something that I feel like a lot of people, especially, again, I was on a space last night talking about being a creator, being a builder, a founder, right? You mentioned how like you worked you started few companies, right? Few startups, and some succeeded, some failed. Like, what drive? I guess the question is like, what I'm trying to ask is like, how do you overcome like failure in the sense of like keep going, right? Because is it just the stubbornness, I feel like
Definitely.
I feel a lot of builders, founders, not just outside of Web3, Web2, they're pretty stubborn, saying, hey, I have an idea, we're going to do it. It doesn't work. Okay, we'll pivot, right? But I feel like a lot of people, whether you're a creator, whether you're a founder or builder, sometimes get to a rut where it's like, man, I'm done. I give up. Like I guess what motivates you from the failure, like to keep on going?
I think one of the things, stubborn is definitely one of them. You wouldn't lie, but I think the other points that I have in my mind, there are two of them, right? One is like the criticism from people. So whoever criticized my ideas, I will take a second thought. And then if I believe I have a strong belief on that things overshine your criticism, I can prove it. So that is my the second reason. Like I wouldn't lay down to all the criticism or all the challenges. I will face against it, and I will show it to you like whether it works or not. I'll give you an answer. So I think that one of the showcase, like when I first one of the time when I did one of the project, right? I pitched one of the investor, and then what she told me is like, she said like, yeah, I've been investing in ideas 100% identical to what you're doing. Like, how do you convince me like you can do it well in your market? Like, and then I told her like, I told her for several reasons, and I told her like we have kind of like the domain expertise or like the local advantages for to conquer the APAC market sort of. And so yeah. I'm not sure, but I'll keep an eye on that. I say, like, yeah, I can do it. I can show you. Maybe that's stubborn, right? Okay, but anyway, I think that is one of the things I wouldn't say no when people tell me I cannot, right? And the other reason is like I think is from the users. Because a lot of the time, whatever business I'm doing, let's say I'm doing the, let's say one of the creative platform that I'm running still, the one like they help people do digital subscription and sell digital content. That one, every day I receive users inbox or like DM. They will say like, your platform has been doing good, helping me a lot. I have a question like, can you do this? Can you build this? It will help me a lot, even more. And honestly, in that part, I also receive a lot of people asking about crypto payment, asking a lot about like how.
And this is a Web2 platform.
Web2 platform, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but anyway, all these users' feedback to me is essential because same things to like people telling me like Dojo3 is a really degen and a very nut scam. I mean, all this feedback to me is important because it motivates me to do further or pivot or even change a bit. I think this is also for me. I think I'm kind of like a person more into, I would say, people oriented. So when people give me a feedback, I will face it, and then when people say something good, it motivates me a lot to do it along the time. Yeah, so that's my core motivation. Yeah, but by the way, we can talk about the platform more because the creative platform that I'm running, I see a lot of potential. Leaning into Web3 of that.
Interesting. So you think of maybe integrating it?
Yeah, I do. Because
stuff like that.
I have a lot of users who are the game developers. They may be selling indie games on Steam.
Yeah.
And then there are a lot of like individual artists. They are selling art, comment, and then there are some people who are doing other subscription style of content, and they all face a lot of problems. But one of a few things that I noticed that they definitely want to keep an eye on crypto payment, and because they have a lot of issue about fiat, things.
Yeah. Sorry, not to cut you off, but how is that like? Because I think with Web3 gaming, right? I think recently we've heard a lot of bad things, a lot of companies close. But yeah, like you mentioned something about your creative, platform, how like these games are like looking into crypto because there's issues in Web2 gaming. Like, what are the issues and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean a lot. I'll give you some example. Like one of the game developers, some of the game developers, they're doing indie games. A part of them are really decent normal games. Some of them are maybe more gray area. They're doing kind of like visual novel, or you know what I mean, visual novel, right? And they got to face a problem like some of the NGOs, like the news on Steam. You saw that one, like the day that news comes out, a bunch of them DM me, ask me, can you do something on crypto? Because I'm afraid that on some point, the payment or like the game I'm listing out there will be suspended, will be off the shelf.
Wait, how does payment work in gaming right now, like in Web2?
I mean, right now they still rely on PayPal, Stripe,
Stripe and stuff like that,
and sort of like that, and whatever the payment that they're doing on subscription, they still rely on a lot of like all these big players out there, and some of that they're genius enough. They have their own website, like building on a platform. They will have the link to pay in cryptos, but it's a P2P type of things. It's not really kind of like a payment gateway, right? So they need something like that. And the other side of things, like people been asking, like whether it can be something more innovative in the mechanism where to motivate people to subscribe. And at the same time, give them more incentive, right? And some of them, even more smart enough, they will think about like, what if people subscribing me at the same time, they see like the value behind me goes up, or even my digital content can have a potential to be reselling or like a royalty behind. So some people who are smart enough, they have these components. But after all creators, what they want, or especially who are making digital content, they want to make sure that the pieces they sell is being protected in the IP, right, and the copyright. And the second thing is like they want to make sure that they can earn money in every aspect.
Of course,
like, not even a royalty as split from it, or let's say a more solid way of collecting the proceed.
Right.
So in this sense, I think creator, especially those who are selling digital content, they have a lot of demand that are unsolved. And I know along these 4 years, there's a lot of people want to do creator economy kind of platform on in the Web3 spaces, but they're still not having one single solution yet. So I think at some point I'm gonna crack it, try my solution and see if I can be part of it.
Yeah. What do you think? Because the payment side of things makes total sense, right? Like let's say something changes policies, You mentioned Steam, right, and stuff like that. How crypto solves that, right? Crypto payments and stuff like that. But why do you think gaming, I wouldn't say failed, but I would say like not total failure, but has not done well. Like we've seen, it's like over 50 gaming projects that had all the hype back in the day. Web3, right? It has not, have closed. Like, what do you think that's the case?
I think honestly, it used to be a very hype like back then. And you see all the a lot of Asia region of countries that we have a lot of gamers out there. It's go crazy.
Infinity,
like, Axie Infinity, like back
that's
the age with samples, like it's really, really hyping, right? The price goes crazily. I think Web3 gaming still, I'm probably not the most experienced guy to say that, but at least from what I see so far, is a lot of the game itself. Back in the old day, it kind of like you cannot find a reason to keep playing. Not every game, like a lot of the early stage games, they are kind of like a bit lack of content, right, inside, and there's not much game mechanics behind.
And a nice hype video.
Yeah,
doing the pre-TG.
Yeah, you have the hype video. Everything is good, but it end up when it roll out, it's kind of like different, and the game is empty. And the only things you can do is like you green the game, the gears, the NFT behind, the land behind, and then you earn it from what you've been playing behind. And not to mention there are some kind of Ponzi games out there like you can keep FOMOing people to win.
We won't name them, but yes, they're
still out there, right?
I may or may not have been on Spaces, or me or both of us have been on Spaces.
Yeah, so I think Web3 gaming still people come into play is not because of fun at the very beginning. It's still because it can give you a prospect, right?
Yeah.
And I think now, like, the game on Snapchat is trying to change it, like, especially that you see all the PUBG IP games. It kind of making it fun first before the prospect, right? But I think people still keep an eye that they can earn something from playing the game. So I think you ask me like why a lot of the game died down a lot of time. I read one of the report like recently. It's like this year that the total size of like crypto playing into gaming is like drop a lot, like at least 50% or something, 80%. But I think that makes sense because the cycle. One of the things is a cycle issue. The other thing is like people get tired of it. Like, well, in the market is not good, and there's no reason for you to play games because when you play the games, you want to win, you want to earn money. You know that it's not gonna be very
right.
Very, 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 very promising. But at the same time, it's also because like there's not enough new, players coming into the market. Like you look into like all those people who used to play a lot, like after 5-6 years again, I think I really get tired of it, right?
Why is that? Is it's not fun or
no? Because every day
they don't make money anymore.
You've been doing daily check-in, daily praise like 5 games, 10 games. I mean, same things happened to the Telegram game. I think last year, like. You have to keep doing.
Dude, Telegram was so hyped last year. Like, the tap games. What is that one? Yeah. Anyways, but yeah.
So, yeah, I think one of the reasons is like after all these years, like all those like early players, they either get rich or they either get rough,
or they don't play, right?
Or they get tired of it, right? And I think along the year, there's not enough new blood coming in. So I think Chain like Abstract, they've been doing well because they try more new blocks coming in. I think that's essential because when you look into gaming, entertainment, fun, and a sense of like emotional feeling is still the most important. But a lot of the game out there, it just doesn't have that feeling, right? I think adding a little bit like betting component inside the game is good. Or like it can be betting competition. And kind of like rival, all these kind of things will make people have the sense of like stimulation to play the game. So but I think eventually like the games that die down may because like they lack of the innovation along the time. But I think one of the core problems out there is like this game they lose out the interest to people because they just not built to be something sustainable. So you look into Counter-Strike is still out there now. And you look into the NFT, like Web2 game with all these like good game, not NFT, right? You look into a Web2 game that the skin can still sold so crazily. Right?
I mean, it's been a while, but I feel like World of Warcraft was like one of the first ones I heard about.
Yeah.
Like people were selling items for what, like 1,000 or even more than that. And you're right, they're still sustainable, at least in Web2, right? And stuff like that.
That's true. So in the other day, people will stay because the game is fun.
Yeah.
It fulfills a certain kind of desire to you, and a lot of games just they did not intend to build that as a very beginning, right? They build the hype, they build the
token.
build the token. They build the expectation that I can win something from here as a very beginning. So when you have that in mind, everybody comes in with that perception. Once you're done, you launch something, people move on. Or once your price die down or like certain things happen, they move on, right? So I think it's eventually will happen. I mean, maybe also if it happened to us as well. But I would say that if your game is built to be fun, people feel it, people like it, people will come back. And of course, if they can win, they can earn something behind. That will be a perfect match. So I would say nowadays, if you intentionally build a game just for hype, for prospect, for speculation, without considering the entertainment part, you wouldn't last long.
Yeah.
But maybe that's your intention as well. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's also like, I feel like in the last cycle, we had all these games with huge promises, like creating AAA games, like competing against like the Call of Duties of the world and stuff like that with graphics and then adding a crypto element to it. But again, that's what I hear, right? Game development takes a while, especially those kind of AAA games, right? And also that crypto element of it and stuff like that. And now we see like games like on Abstract, like what you guys are doing on Dojo3, more, I would say more simple, more easy to play. It's not, you have to spend a gazillion of hours playing, right? Like, do you feel like at least right now that's the way to attract users?
I feel so.
Even the Web2 side of things.
I feel so because like, if you're gonna build a AAA game, it takes a lot of time, and if you don't have a solid story, not a story behind, and IP and mechanics behind, you're not gonna win. So look into all these big games, big titles. I mean, I'm a gamer, so I know. Like, you look at the one built by Sony, right? I mean, that one is like so. I feel so bad.
Was it a Web3 game?
No, Web2. Look at that one. Like, they spent how many dollars building the games, and they end up looking at the result. So the problem is that you spend a lot of money building a Web3 game, but end up people say or feel that you're a clone from the existing one on Web2. So it's not gonna make it because I already have that game. I have all my friends out there. Why should I jump into this one, which you told me there will be like certain earnings here, but none of my friends are playing here. So the problem is like, I think nowadays in this moment, if you want to build a game, just make an easy one. Don't make something really fancy. You look into all these indie games on Steam. A lot of them are like built by a studio, like a few people, right?
Yeah.
And they can be a cute, animated, PvP games. Even one of the like games like Party Animal or something, that one go crazy as well. And you can look into that. It's not a AAA game, but it definitely catch a lot of attention. Very hardcore people who like the IP, like the cute animals. I think these are the good moves. Same thing goes to like PUBG Party, PUBG Class that are doing. All these are good moves. Like, I think this kind of game, of course, it takes resources. But if you start building some game that easier but also fun, cute to people, it can attract that attention. And if you go into building like a AAA games, it's just not gonna happen. But for me, the path I choose like on Dojo3, I just want to build a game that you spend a few minutes per day. So you come in, you play a few games, you test your luck, you test your hand. If you're good, you win something that's good. You have a really good eye on the crypto market today. Then afterwards you go trade. Right. Or after the trade, you come play some games for finishing. That's what I want to do.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I just want to spend your idle a few minutes time playing the games, making a few betting.
Yeah.
Like my friend this morning, he said like, before working, he played the first game, he win. I told him like, okay, you can go work now.
Is it mobile compatible?
Mobile compatible, yeah.
Oh, that's huge. I feel like, because I feel like a game like Dojo3 or even, like, I mean, obviously the time games and stuff like that, like being mobile compatible, because sometimes people are maybe waiting for the train or or they're riding the train and then they, just play for a couple minutes.
Yeah, correct. I think that is kind of like a good one. Because I think a lot of people who still rely on build a game but only on PC is limited. I mean, if you only target those degen users, maybe it makes sense. But if you're looking into more consumer-oriented, that lose out a lot of potential behind. So I think there's always a balance in here. If you only on an eye on all those like degen who have a deep pocket, you want to make it professional or make it fun for them, then go all the way to web.
Right.
Yeah, but if you want to look into a mass market, like go into something more easy, go look into mobile, right? There's never a solution that fit in both unless you're rich. You're a rich developer.
That's actually interesting you say that, because at least right now, like, it's kind of hard to see like everyday Joe, but like I'm logging on to this very simple game on my PC, right? Because a lot of users are using their phone.
Yep.
Right. Like I used to work in digital marketing, right? And I remember we used to use AI, I guess you say early AI when it comes to running ads on Facebook. And if you look at the results of the ad, like where it's being served, it's usually mobile.
Yeah, mobile.
Right. And I think I saw an interview recently with you mentioned Pudgy Party, right? I think that one of the developers for Pudgy Party, and he kind of mentioned how like he believes like the future of Web3 games is more mobile based first to attain the users, right? I wasn't Axie Infinity mobile first, or
I forget.
okay, yeah, I forgot too,
Yeah.
but like it makes sense because that's where the users are, right? And I think crypto at this time, maybe it's not that sit down 2 hours, play on Xbox or whatever kind of thing, right? So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I think definitely the mobile making things mobile is kind of like a big one out there. And I guess I would have to say like a lot of games are you're now building it. I think one typical difference is like if you were building a DJing game 100% for DJing, then maybe the web version is good enough because everybody will stay on a laptop all the time. So just make it, web will be fair enough. But if you are casual gaming, but why not make it mobile first, right? So for us, we design for mobile first. So if you look into our interface on web, essentially it's just an extension of the mobile.
Yeah.
Because we want to do it mobile originally, and then we stay on that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And kind of going back to your background a little bit, like, you're saying that you were building in Web 2 before Web 3, right? And all that. Were you, like, I was just curious, like, were you growing up, like, were you always, like, a builder? Like, what were you even doing prior to even building, like, projects and startups and stuff like that? Were you in uni or, yeah?
I've been doing startups since uni, so.
Interesting, yeah.
I never worked in a corporate for long.
Okay. Did you work in the corporate before?
Or a summer job, I think.
The what? Summer
jobs, yeah.
Yeah, what were you doing?
I was doing like marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, business operations, something like that. It's kind of all boring shit. Yeah. I just like build things. I just like create something that amazes people, and I didn't feel that vibe when I work in a corporate or like a big entity, and yeah, so that's why I never been to a big corporate, even though I got a lot of offers, right after my graduate, but I kind of like turned down all of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time I keep building.
What did you study in uni?
I was doing business and I think computer science. Yeah.
Okay.
Business and computer science.
Okay, CS.
Yes, yeah.
Have you ever used that yet, the degree?
I think at early stage, yes. Some of the things that I learned, some of the basic coding. Yeah. I was in all my previous startup, my role is I will be the one who do the IR, and then I will be the guy doing kind of like marketing.
Yeah.
And a PR, presenting all the things. But I will also be the PM of the company. So a lot of the time, always I will be the kind of like the PM. I'm the big PM in the company, and I'm in charge of all the product things. So I look after back-end, front-end development.
Is it because of your background?
Yeah, because I know about that. I know what they're doing. So I know what kind of test that they're using.
Yeah.
I know what kind of design. I've gotten to talk to users as well. So I'm kind of like more at product side of a person. So back then, and then for sales and things, I usually hand on to partners. But the only things I do BD as well. So
so you do BD, you do product market manager, and
I did sales before as well, but
sales.
I'm not a good salesperson. And sales and account servicing, I'm not really good because I will easily get angry to customers. And then, but I think one of the time, I met one of the very hard to deal with like clients, and she has all the unfair nonsense requests. I was just saying no to her, the client. I say like, this doesn't make sense. All right, if you think in this way, it will fail. And then I will argue, with the client, and then the client will get angry, and never end up the client will listen to me. So that's why I say,
Yeah.
I say like I'm not a good accounting and salesperson.
Because you don't always listen to what the
Yeah,
client says.
I will entertain the client, but in the sense that I feel it is moving in the right way.
Yeah.
But if they are not or they're doing something stupid, I wouldn't tolerate because I know the result will go bad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say I'm not.
Yeah. Well, at least you're self-aware of that, right? Some
Yeah.
people are not, right? And so
And they still believe it's right, right? And so that's
yeah,
the problem.
yeah. Or even like some people doing startups, right? They feel like I'm capable of being a founder, right? And maybe in reality they're not. They're more of a number 2 or number 3 person, say
Yes.
a number 1, right? And you know, that's good, being self-aware. Do you feel like self-awareness is like a huge thing being an entrepreneur?
Of course, you have to
yeah.
be aware, like about the situation or the things, the position you're in, and then you have to make the judgment of your own. I mean, for me, I always ask for advice from my team, and I will make the judgment. All right, so because you first thing you have to have the awareness and sense behind, but at the same time you have to be aware about how people think about the things way before you make the judgment. I think that's very important. So if you are the person that have a strong awareness and a strong sense, but you didn't listen to people, then you are arrogant.
Interesting.
All right. If you are a person, you only listen to people, but you don't make the decision, you are just a person who are weak.
Yeah.
So being an entrepreneur, you need to be able to do it both. You need to be decisive at the same time you listen to feedback and you take the advice to make your or advice just your judgment. All right. So I think this is the number one importance for entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And second, you mentioned is like you have to be very kind of like stubborn.
Yeah.
And you have to be the one who move fast. So one of the reasons that I kind of like exit my last startup is because I feel like my role out there is no longer moving. All right. The company has been moving fast enough to a position which is getting stable.
Yeah.
And then I am the person who's supposed to move fast, keep innovating, keep changing things. But it doesn't need me anymore. All right. So it's the time for me to move. It's something same thing to, of course, I'm not into a kind of like a company like 1,000 people at that time. But you can feel like it's same to the case like all my friends told me when their company reached 100 people, 500 people, 1,000 people. Like my friend from another move or from other company, they told me like, yeah, when I reached that level, I realized like you are the bottleneck. All right. They told, I mean, that time I still don't understand, but now I do. And they told me like, I should be the person step down or I should be the person who move on. So that's why you see a lot of the time when this company grow, the executive position will change. They will hire somebody because they are no longer driving in the right way. But the company needs something different. Yeah, exactly. So I think being an entrepreneur, especially from 0 to 1 stage, you have to be the one who move fast, who move always at the forefront. You know all the information. It's like you listen to customer feedback, you talk to users, and then you drive things, you make the decision. If you're not in that position, and then you told people that I am the CEO of the company, you're going to go into big trouble because the company will go slow because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's interesting what you're saying about like, first of all, you gotta listen to feedback, but also move quickly and being decisive. Because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, what if I make the wrong move? Like, how do you deal with like the risk of making the wrong move? Because sometimes people just freeze and saying like, I'm calculating things in this instead of just going. Like how?
Usually what I do is when I hear a new, or I want to do something new, if it's not gonna cost much, I'll just say, I think this is the right move. Fuck it, let's try. Yeah. And then if
so you don't care about like the risk after
I know I assess the risk. Like I know like if we take this move, it probably just, let's say it's just maybe a few thousand bucks of cost behind. I would say like, okay, this week we're gonna try this, or these 3 days we're gonna try this. Yeah. If it doesn't make it, okay, like fuck it, just kind of as a loss. At least we tried it because you have to move fast, right? Sometime.
That's what I was saying is like the pivoting, the moving fast.
Yeah, just add it and try, or just enhance it and see how people react, or like ask the users. And but if it is kind of like a big investment or like a big move in mechanics of your product, or a big business model shift, what I do is I will do the map first. I will always be the guy to do all the spreadsheet, do all the forecasts. I'll ask AI to plot all the hypotheses for me, plot the calculation, and then we'll put it into the Excel. I will tune all the metrics by myself. Like within probably like 2 hours, I iron down with a kind of like a forecast, and then I know the ROI, and then I would talk to the team again, and I tell them like, what do you guys think about that? If we do that, we're gonna have like plan A, plan B, plan C, end up maybe winning this thing. And then after I hear the feedback, I will make the judgment to go or not
to
to
do
go.
and stuff like that.
So I will always be the guy kind of maps, because I think you know, as a founder, I mean, number 4 is that you need to control the metrics. And if you don't know the metrics, you wouldn't be, you know, very crazy. So what I do is I will insist calculating all the weekly growth metrics myself, and I review each of the metrics. So I'll ask the data team like, why this metrics being kind of like this, why it dropped. So I always spot mistake. I'm the first one to spot mistake. Like last week, I saw they have the kind of weekly profit and loss. I saw a huge drop, and I asked why, and I realized they make like a mistake of like counting something from the jackpot into the losses. No, that's a marketing cost, right? So I think if you're not controlling everything like this, you don't know what's the business going on. So yeah, so I would say don't be an entrepreneur, because it's
don't be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's so fucking tired.
No, but I think one thing that I've kind of realized from all types of people who start things, even from your journey, is like pivoting fast and not being afraid to fail. Like you mentioned, you know, you have a couple startups that failed and some succeeded, right? That exited well, that didn't exit well, and now you're still here, right? And I think that there's a lot of times, people are just afraid to fail, right? And again, I feel like entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
Yeah, I think it's not afraid to fail. That's important. For me, I just feel like just try, right? Just try, and if you don't make the attempt to fail, you never learned. And same things. I think last week we have a mistake of like let's see. Yeah. Anyway, so I think firstly we have some mistake like making some wrong calculation.
Yeah.
And then what I do is I would tell like, okay, just tell the users we'll give it to you. Yeah, but that's it. You're gonna do us a favor and give us something in return, because this is a mistake from us. We admit that. Or else if we're gonna take it back, we're gonna give you something in return. We're gonna admit that. I think that is a mistake we make. You cannot deny it, but at least
take ownership of it.
Take ownership of it, and that's the thing. So, and if you want to try something new, just try. It doesn't work out. Yeah, that the fault is on me. And it doesn't matter. We learn from it. So the same things I told everybody from the team is like, if you make a mistake, you're gonna admit that. If you make it twice, I'm gonna fuck you twice. But you're gonna admit that you wouldn't lie, and you have to spot it at the very beginning. So I think what I hate most is like people, they're afraid of fail when they did that, they didn't realize. But I think if you make a mistake, you realize at the very first spot, you told people that you made the mistake. That is the right move, because people know that you are kind of like well aware of things. But if I saw somebody make a mistake, but they didn't realize for 1, for 2, for 3 times, then they're doomed.
They're doomed. Yeah. It seems like you already have a process from experience of how to navigate.
Because I think if you were doing startup for some time, you definitely fail enough times for you to learn, to know about people who are reliable, who are not, who are people who rock you, who are liars. Like you will definitely learn all these things.
Yeah. And I feel like you learn it from experience, right? I feel like school, I don't know about you. I don't think school can teach you stuff like you need to learn by trial by fire, kind of pretty much.
I think like, let's say from so far, like I jump into the Web3 space like in a recent year time. I think kind of like also eye-open to me, right? And at the same time, I think I also, start to look into like what community is like active, like worth my attention, or like what friendship behind is like worth my time to who are the real friends, who are not. I've been spending time to look into it. What is the way of like I make new friends here, because the pace here is too fast, right? So also kind of like catch and trial and error from here. And so I think it's important for you to keep moving, keep trying, and the mistake, just let it be, just learn from it.
And also, I think maybe you told me, or maybe I saw somewhere that when starting in Web3, you're part of some like entrepreneur program with EVG.
This is. So I'm actually have my role at EVG as a kind of an entrepreneur in resident.
Nice.
So that's kind of like when I first go in, I actually look after a lot of things. I try to learn a lot, try to oversee a lot of things, helping on different piece of bricks.
Right.
And And
how'd you get connected with EVG and stuff like that?
I'm actually a friend of mine, connect to me with the boss, and then and at that time I was kind of like having some ideas in mind. I want to jump into the space. I want to get more familiar, because I think the best way is to get into kind of like a venture to get yourself, to contribute yourself, and at the same time to groom up.
Right.
And I think that's a perfect moment for me. And along the time, I just have the idea about Dojo3.
Yeah.
And because I just cannot tolerate myself, sitting there, just working, and then without building something, or like, having an advice or having a comment to people without really actually, getting myself to create something. So I have an idea. I want to create an idea, and then that's Dojo3, and then I get some support from the venture. And then I kind of like, build Dojo3 from there.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like because for those that probably don't know, right? EVG, they invest in like some of the biggest companies in Web3, right? Like think Pudgy Penguins, Animoca, Abstract. I didn't even know Abstract.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, right? Dojo3, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So I mean, EVG is definitely one of the big names in Asia. Like it's a venture studio. The venture team is very strong. Make a lot of good investment and a lot of good name, like starting with Animoca.
Yes. Yeah.
And all other recent like Barachain, like.
I forgot Barachain too. Yeah.
All these they make good investment, and they're brilliant. And then they also have the studio team like incubations and they're cooking new ideas. I think the boss, like the Alan out there, he's a really genius guy.
Yeah.
And genius guy. He never stopped. He's also a very good entrepreneur, and at the same time also a very good investor. So he's kind of like the Elon Musk style of like investor. Because normally an entrepreneur, if you're good at building, you probably wouldn't so good at doing all the finance and investing. If you're an investor, most of the time you're not a good builder. But if you're a guy,
two different skills.
You're a guy who can combine both of them, man, you can like be successful and you can do a lot of things. And he is definitely one of that. Yeah. Business person with that character. So it's that. So that's why you see, being an entrepreneur is not that easy all the time. Me myself, I'm not a really good at investment still. I'm still learning a lot. So I would say a lot of room for me. But for building, I've been doing a lot, trial and error. So I get the experience behind
it.
Yeah.
Where does it come from, that entrepreneur spirit? Like did you grow up with entrepreneurs, or like were you always like, I don't know, when you're a kid, did you like hustle your way in school selling things and stuff? Yeah.
I did, but of course, my background is a bit hustle. I'm not from a wealth family. I always think about how to earn money. And I did sell some stuff online, back in the early days.
Like high school, college?
High school, yeah, selling stuff online.
Yeah, what'd you sell?
I used to sell, I think, iPhone case. And then I write some script with my friend to get iPhone during my university time. So I think back then iPhone was like, they have price on when they do the initial launch, right? And then we have a program that can keep getting iPhone every day, and then we just go to some of the shop to sell it. And I think each of them, the premium should be for around $300-400 per each.
Yeah.
And every day we can just earn like $1,000-2,000 per day.
Oh,
I think, well, first it didn't last long, but at least I always think about new ideas to earn some pocket money for myself. Pay my tuition, or like go have fun.
So would you say it's more for survival? Like you needed to make the money, or to survive, to pay your tuition, to do that?
I think for me, I'm not that desperate, but I would say I will try myself to earn a little bit more, so that I can get more flexible and I don't have to ask a lot from my families, right?
Like that, yeah.
So I'm not the typical like grown up with entrepreneurial spirit or education. I'm
Interesting.
I basically earn everything myself. I used to be very bad at studies, all the things like English as well. I learned it myself. And even though when I'm studying in university, I am very bad at, accounting or statistics, mathematics, everything I failed twice at least each of the subject.
Failed twice?
Yeah.
Did you retake the class?
Retake, yeah. I do. Twice, each of them. I'm really bad at mathematics, all this figures, statistics. But now that, as I mentioned now, I do the math all myself.
Yes, right.
Forecast, accounting, projection, or even the probability or the EV set in the Dojo3 games. Everything I did it myself before I put it on to the dev to further calculate. So yeah, I just learned it myself. Wherever I think one of the interesting things I find in my life is like wherever things you find it passion, find your passion behind, you will learn the skill set around it.
Yeah.
So let's say I don't like accounting, I hate it, I really hate it. But when I know it's doing a business that I find it interesting, I would learn how to do that. Even though I hate using Google Spreadsheet before. A lot of things I still don't know, but I will learn because I need to get that metrics done. And to get the analytics done, I will do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I don't need to do that because I can use AI.
Yeah, you can say, oh yeah, shout out to AI. Yeah, because what's interesting about passion, because like even for me, right? There's a saying, right? You quit your 9 to 5 to work 24/7 in Web3 and to make, at least for me, less money, at least for now. But it's the passion part, right? Yeah. Like I was like you, like I was working corporate, and it's just like I feel like you're just stuck, right? You even like working for a company sometimes, even in Web3, like even for me, like recently working for an agency and stuff like that, where you're in a box. You're like, this is who you are, and this is what you're gonna be, and you gotta like haggle your way, deal with politics and stuff like that. Yeah, and something that I don't feel like. Again, it's not for everyone. Like I have friends, I'm sure you do too, that are just like, yo, I just want 9 to 5.
Yeah, I think you're gonna choose like you want to have a stable life, then you go 9 to 5, right? But the point is like a lot of time, if you cannot tolerate things out there, the policy, the regulations or something that you think is not fair or like not legit, or then you want to shout out, that means you're not a people who fit in the system.
Yeah.
If you're a person not fit in the system, you either become a criminal or you either end up become a kind of an innovator or like activist, in the society. You're gonna be some.
So there's only two paths, huh? Either criminal or being an entrepreneur. If you don't fit the standard of school.
Exactly. If you don't fit in the ecosystem, you're gonna be a rebel.
A rebel.
Yes. I think we're kind of the rebel style things. We don't like to fit into the rules. We don't like go into the ecosystem because we always see the problems behind, and you don't want to tolerate it. Same things to me. Like even though I am or used to in a system or in the regulations, I usually try to play around, and I still stick to my gut feeling or to my belief to do things. So that's why sometimes when I see some policies or like some regulation come out, even I deal with some government things, like I'll still play around. I will ask them, can I do that? And in the sense that, which you mean that's okay, right? I always play around the rules, find the loopholes, do the things in a smart way, and sometimes ignore some of the regulations or some of the rules behind. I think that's important. And sometimes, even though let's say you're being an advisory in a big company, I think the management or like some people senior position, they will treasure it because you're the guy who can find a solution out. You are not the guy who follow the rules, and that's the reason why, you will always create something interesting, amaze people. I think that if we hear anybody hearing this and you have this, things in your mind, or you can do this, that means you have the potential to be an innovator, an entrepreneur.
Yeah. What does your family think about it? Were they always supportive of you doing this, or they're like, no? Because typically Asian parents, like you conform, you try to do good in school, and then you get a good job, 9 to 5, family, and like, what did your family say about?
I think it's kind of like half. Like some of them will be very supportive. Some of them will say like it's so risky. And they're afraid of me like not earning enough money. But I think along the time, in general, they are proud of it. And of course, they still concerned about how many money I can make because they see like a year pass, 2 years, or 3 years pass. And they were kind of like, if you were in a corporate, you probably should be like, like at least maybe a associate something, senior associate something,
manager or something.
You probably earn like maybe parallel to what you're doing now, or at least if they have bonus if you're in the finance. you get bonus like 12 months, you earn more than that now. And then I would still, they would still ask me about those questions, but at least I would say in general, they are not against that. And they're kind of like proud to see like some achievement that I made. I think that's fair enough to me.
Yeah. No, that's good to have parents, because usually, I guess when you reach a certain age, people, your parents or your family members are just like, okay, he can do whatever he wants. I can't control him. But I feel like Asian, maybe culture-wise, it's like, oh, you got to do this. Again, depends on your upbringing and stuff like that. And maybe they're not as supportive. But no, that's good to hear at least.
Yeah, but one thing interesting is like when I was studying high school, my top interest is actually history. And
dude, that's my...
Due to
dude, I don't know what it is with entrepreneur. I think history has, maybe we like history because like I'm a big Gary Vaynerchuk fan.
Me too.
Yeah, huge, entrepreneur, marketing guy. He loves history too. So I don't know yeah. That's the only one that got A. I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah, you too. Right? Yeah. Science? No way.
Yes, exactly.
Math? Okay, I'm Asian. It's okay. But history, man, it was easy for me.
It was easy for me, and I always love history. Yeah. And it's just like I don't have the luck. Otherwise, I have luck. Otherwise, I will end up being a history teacher.
Oh, really? Okay, you really love the history that much?
No, my first application to university is actually like kind of like a bachelor of history.
Oh wow!
Yeah, okay. I didn't get it. I get into bachelor of business, and I say like, okay, thanks God, that's a God's choice.
Yeah, I mean, at least you can make more money, I guess. Oh, I don't know how much historians make, but.
I think history, teaching in Hong Kong is like one of the most well-paid jobs.
Oh, is it?
Teaching in Hong Kong is like one of the top in the world. That's why you see some people like against the policy, like why teacher can get paid so high here.
Interesting.
Like yeah, but
okay,
it's a very, very stable job here.
Oh, that's nice. Because I feel like back in the States, again, depending on what state you're in, teachers make the least, or they like. So a little above minimum wage and
exactly.
Stuff,
but here, if you're a teacher, you kind of like you have a very well paid, and then every year you get a jumping points, and then you get more pay. Well, of course, it's also a tough job, but if you compare to teachers in other, regions, other places, it's actually much better
and stuff like that. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's interesting. But it's interesting to see. Like, I feel like a lot of people want to go independent or be an entrepreneur and stuff. They tend to like history for some reason. Maybe we like to study trends and stuff like that. I don't know. It's funny. I've been seeing that a lot.
But it's interesting because if you learn in history, you're gonna see through a lot of things. Because if you learn, you're not reading the incident, the events. You're actually reading the logic, how things goes ups and downs, how the crisis comes out, the reason behind the people, what they did. You're actually analyzing a situation in a bigger, a macro way. And I think that kind of like train up your mind. And always the question is asked you like, what's your thought about it? Is it the pros and cons? Yeah. It always train up your judgment, right?
Yeah.
It used to, but I don't know right now whether it's still or not because of the political things. But at least it train up your mindset. But a lot of things like it may change you in different way. Let's say mathematics is training you to calculate things. Yeah. Or like science is like about some really practical knowledges. But history is really about how you judge things.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe that's.
Of course, you can just read through and then tell the best answer, the standard answer, but usually for me, I don't.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have to do it.
I write my own point of view. Yeah. So that's why you get A and I get A because you have your own point of view, which outshine the standard answer.
Yeah, which is like with fill in the blank and stuff like that. Yeah, that's interesting. But man, like kind of we're closing here. Going back to maybe Web3 and all that, like, as a builder, right, building in Web3, like, maybe we can say specific gaming, like, where do you feel like is the future of Web3 gaming? Like, we mentioned earlier on about, like, AAA, last cycle may not be this cycle. This cycle seems like more casual games, maybe mobile games is the way. Like, where do you see, at least in your opinion, where Web3 gaming is headed? Or or even where Web3 or crypto is headed, in your opinion?
I think, judging from what I see now, I would say, if you look in the shorter terms, like maybe in the coming 2 or 3 years' time, I think it will most likely the same to what you see now. You will see games that are on-chain games that are built for degen, built for people who are familiar with crypto.
Yeah.
And then it will still remains here. People will play the games like regardless of whether it's a Ponzi, whether it is kind of like a super stupid game or
Yeah.
like a super bad EV kind of like odds games. That will still be there.
DJ is gonna be DJ.
DJ is gonna be.
They're gonna be DJs. Yeah.
Every year there will be a new DJ coming in. So this game will remain.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the second pillar is like the new type of like game that are blurring the line between traditional Web2 big or good games.
Yeah.
And Web3 game, and the line will just will just be closer. It will closing the gap between these two. I think with abstract as well, you will see this gap getting narrow. And at a certain point, one day you probably will see a Web3 gaming also published on Steam, which already happened, like Kuga, right?
Kuga, yeah.
Kuga has already
Yeah,
started.
Kuga. Shout out to G-Paw,
G4
Hero, and all those guys. Yeah.
Good. You can see like along the time to restart, you can see the gap getting closer. You see that probably one time I see probably like on this chain, this game, or they're already on Steam and also get popular. I think this line will lean towards like more closer. And this certain point, like, in the long run, you will see games merging together.
Yeah.
You see like, oh, this is a big title, but at the same time, they have the components which serve the purpose on chain. You'll see that happening. And then at a certain point, we will see certain big games, like maybe they will support some on-chain components for people who really specific from Web3.
Right.
I think this will get even closer, especially when you see like all the handheld devices coming from the Solana Play, right?
Yeah.
And of course, it's for Android, but at some point, like you already see some handheld device in for handheld gameplay.
Solana even has a phone already. Right?
Yeah. I mean, those handheld game device, at some point, maybe some of the big title or like indie games.
Yeah.
Web3 games like the one we mentioned, like it will get closer. I think this will be the future you see for Web3 gamings.
You blend between Web2, Web3, Steam,
yes,
and Epic Games and stuff like that.
So and until someday, I think when you look into it, you don't have to say that this is a Web2 game, this is a Web3 game. This is just a game, but you can use crypto to play. Or you can earn some, kind of like digital asset from there. I think that will be the future you see. But it will take a longer term. I will tell you, like, what I feel like in 2-3 years time, you wouldn't see that, but you will see the gap getting closer. But if you look into like 5-10 years later, when all the new citizen, new generation comes out, they are kind of like crypto native enough. You will see that happen, natively.
Yeah. Do you think GTA 6 is gonna have crypto elements? I've heard yes. I've heard no.
No. I would say no.
No.
Because GTA 6 has been developed for so long. The initial time they start, I don't think they.
Was it supposed to be released like? It's going to be released in the fall, right? It's supposed to be.
Yes. I think the time they start building the crypto market is still not
good,
as mature as not we have now. But if they are starting to develop like 3 years ago, maybe GTA 7, I would say GTA 7 probably will be there, and
some crypto element to it.
And it makes sense to be there because GTA 5 is still popular now.
Yeah, people still playing it.
So IP, there's no reason for you. And not to mention they have so many in-game purchase. All the houses.
Yeah.
They are the real
estate. RWAs.
Yeah, exactly. And the GTA Online is still playing. People are still playing. And all these like houses inside there, you imagine it's like all going on chain.
That's crazy.
And the game currency inside there as well.
Yeah, that game currency and the points. So you feel like it's inevitable, kind of that style of game probably.
Yeah,
will be
but the only thing is like, do they need to do that or not?
Yeah.
Because even they don't do that, they already become one of the most profitable, games.
And the hype for GTA 6 is insane. I've never seen this much hype for a game.
They said yesterday they have a new trailer, right? Is it?
Oh, is it?
I don't know. I heard, but I haven't tried. That's
crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. What do you feel like? Because your project's on abstract. Obviously, it's more specific gaming, right? But like you mentioned, even why you were in abstract, the consumer chain, right, and all that. Where do you see consumer crypto heading? Like you see recently, right? Like one product, Polymarket. Like Polymarket I've been hearing in mainstream media, mainstream news cycle, people talking about it. I feel like it got popular because of the U.S. election in the fall. How it predicted the U.S. election better than the polls did, right? The so-called polls and stuff like that. Yeah. So where do you feel like consumer crypto products or products that use the blockchain? Where do you see that heading? As we see AI, we see this and that.
Actually, that's an interesting angle.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things are still right now nowadays. You see, it's like a replacement. People are trying to make replacement on Web3. Things that can replace the one happening on Web2, right?
Yeah. But finding the solution to whatever. The on-chain can help.
Yeah, but I think along the time, in the short term, what we will see is like more Web 2.5 solutions coming out, which in between, let's say some of the platform with the support from crypto, they will be making the business or making the flow more easier. All right, well, with the flow of like getting things on chain and make it more reliable, with more credibility. I think Web 2.5 things will still goes up along the time in a short period of time. And if you talk about AI, that one of the things that it will definitely do is like, what about the agent that are on chain can have you do something even more reliable. So with right now, the AI agent that are on Web2 or your AI assistant on your phone is actually centralized.
Yeah.
But
isn't ChatGPT considered centralized too? That's debatable.
It's certain but debatable, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But you see, like, I think a lot of the time when you have to touch on something even more sensitive, then I think even with kind of like an on-chain, like a decentralized AI agent, these kind of things will come along the way to make it even more reliable, powerful. At the same time, it can also touch the assets that are on-chain, right? So I would say, like, in a short period of time, we will see like it's more Web 2.5 solution coming out. And I think it's reliable is kind of like more practical to say things like that when we look into it. Because if you look into this, I tell you, like, can you say it later? Everybody can say that, but for me to say that, there's no credibility. Like,
oh yeah, and especially for, I feel like no one, even how credible you are in Web3, like no one can predict what's gonna happen, right? Like this year, who would have thought InfoFi, Kaito would take over kind of pretty much CT.
But honestly, I would say, like, if you ask me more, into how the market will goes, I would say it will still be like what you see here in the previous cycles. Like, narrative will keep changing, and it will be coming from A to B, then C, and then coming back to A. The loop will still be there, and then but you will gradually seeing more new and younger people coming in, which their actions, the interest will change the landscape. Because I see, even though some of my friends out there, they're just like 23, 22 years old, they've been trading NFTs since their high school time. These people, they're really degen, and their prospect looking into digital asset is totally different. They can spend their whole money on crypto, they can buy digital asset, and then they cash out on
Fortnite generation.
Yeah, and exactly, and they don't mind. They don't care about physical asset. Some of them not even bother to buy a luxury, item. They don't buy houses. They don't have
they don't care about those
saving
LV
in
bags.
banks.
They don't care.
And the next generation of them is another era. So you will see, like, the way they see things is totally different. So right now, what we see is like still a lot of like Web 2.5 solution coming out. But when the times go further and further, I think the society, what we see is like people will tend leaning towards more something intangible. And all the digital stuff will go even more crazy. And I would see the traditional business and physical products and brands, they will face in a big trouble a lot of the time. I think this is something more, not exactly Web3, but what happening to the entire world.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, AI is disrupting everything.
Yes.
Like all those old companies and stuff like that, it's just disrupting everything. And now the blockchain, I mean, I feel like the last cycle, every company and their moms were like, oh, we're gonna do an NFT project. Oh, a token, maybe not, because there's liabilities, and public traded companies I don't think can do that. I don't know about that, but it's interesting to see the future. Like you mentioned about like how the younger generation, right? Like even on CT, like I'm surprised they're literally kids, like teenagers on crypto Twitter, tweeting, commenting on me. And it's funny because I made my account in 2009, and literally some people were born in 2009.
Yeah, you told me that one. I remember that.
And so yes, I think because they understand, like you said, digital assets. They understand that, and they live it. I call it the Fortnite generation, Minecraft generation, kind of. So they're all into it, and yes, definitely I can see it's easier for them to adopt. Versus
it's so native. I give you one example. Like one time I was in a metro station around on chain, and I saw a kid. He was playing CS:GO, all right, and then he turned vertical, swap, and then go to TikTok, then the Chinese version of Douyin, they would watch it. And then for a while, he shift back. He's looking into kind of like, I don't know, NFT or what. And then he shift to Telegram, and then he come back to the game. Okay, the respawn time complete.
Insane.
And then he play the games, and then he saw messages somehow, and then come
That's
back.
insane.
So they're like super multitasking at the same time. You see the things they're touching 100% digital.
Yeah.
And if you, let's say you and me in the metro, what we do? We just look at you like, maybe, I don't know, like.
Dude, I feel like a boomer right now.
Yeah, just doing a single thing. You would, but for them, a minute's window, they probably will be doing small things at the same time.
Wow.
So you see the attention they spend is so slim.
Yeah.
And everything they care about is all on digital screen. So that, I think that kid is just around 16 years old. He's still wearing school uniform.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's another discussion for another day about like the metaverse, right? Going into that. I don't know about if you remember, right? Last cycle, everyone's talking about metaverse.
Yeah.
So maybe we're still too
It
far.
will come back. It will come back.
It will come back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Facebook changing their name to Meta, right? The metaverse.
When the Ray-Ban sunglasses so better,
Yeah.
they're the top seller right now. But
Oh, is it? Is it really?
yeah, they said that digital glasses right now they're the top seller.
The Ray-Ban ones.
The Ray-Ban one.
Oh man.
But I think it's still too heavy. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But
But until they turn off the light.
yeah,
If they turn off the light, it will go viral.
go viral, right? That's good. That is another interesting topic for another day. But yeah, man. So, Edwin, what's next? What's next for you? What's next for Dojo3 and stuff like that?
For Dojo3, there's a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Now we have two games, the PvP1 and the PvE1.
Yeah.
And then I think Dojo3 original reset is kind of like make it fun for people who want to do prediction on the token. So we have different roadmap in our plan at the moment. There are still games we want to do. There are defined product that we plan to do.
Oh, DeFi.
Yeah, because we have accumulated approach kind of like I wouldn't say a lot, but at least a good amount of users behind who really doing crypto asset digital trading, and it's kind of like interesting if we combine the game into some defined product along the time. So we also think about that components, and then well, at the same time we still have a lot of move haven't done. We still have a lot of new features to be built. So I would say we will have a big next product cooking and announce it, and then we'll think about something big, or which already we thought about. Would like to see things like TG, those sort of things. We'll definitely do that after another big move.
Okay.
But it's still in the planning, in the pipeline, and we still own the NFT. A lot of people ask me.
Yeah.
I still delaying for a lot of reasons. And,
So it's coming out, the collection NFT.
it's already finished. Already finished all the design. We also talked to the marketplace, like where to go, the launch. Basically, it's ironed down all the details already. It's just waiting for a good timing for us, and a good because we also have a lot of features on the product side and the mechanics as well. We want to wait everything complete before we roll out. So we're gonna take time. But anyway, that Dojo3 I think still will still remain as a gamifying prediction angle. At the same time, there will be potential to go into defined spaces.
Yeah.
And I will see which ecosystem is more promising along the time as well.
Yeah, trying both DeFi, gaming. And
Yes,
stuff like that.
and that would be Dojo3. And then for myself, I'll keep innovating.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime we'll go back, doing something on greater economy with Web3 again.
Yeah.
I always keep thinking every day on new things, so that's kind of interesting. But because we're the same kind of person, we never stop. We keep thinking every day. So, just talk after this. Yeah, I love
Awesome.
today.
Yeah. Well, Edwin, really appreciate you being here.
Pleasure is mine. Yeah.
On Chinsanity's show. It's been a really good conversation, and anyways, Edwin, it was really good to talk to you. I'm sure we'll catch up some way, somehow in Hong Kong.
Let's do it.
Like that. Yeah. But
All right.
yeah, amazing.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.